Yeah, the deepest way to work with the inner critic, when the criticism arises and you notice it, and which is very much like a formal meditation practice, the thought arises, one, you want to interrupt it. So it's the same as you would in meditation, interrupt the critic. But then when you notice the critic, look for the feeling. Criticism, in some ways, like it will, in my experience of criticism, because I've definitely got that on board, like in spades. I'm with you there. The inner critic I've found is a defense mechanism. I'm avoiding feeling something when I'm critical because I'm judging something as not good enough. When I judge something as not good enough, again, the foundations of unconditional love, there's no acceptance of whatever the thing or the piece within is arising exactly as it is. So in that moment of self-criticism, we're unloving who we are. So my invitation would be to look for the feeling, and I'm just going to be really precise because it's not like a coaching call, or I'm not guiding you through experience, but whenever criticism is present, there's a feeling in the body that's being avoided. There'll be a feeling that's arising that's so uncomfortable that we won't want to feel it. And what we'll do is we'll criticize, make the other person wrong, or make ourselves wrong for doing whatever we're doing because it's not good enough, because we don't want to feel that feeling. Whereas if if we were willing to feel a feeling that was coming up of like, oh, wow, I just, did this and now I feel so vulnerable. I feel hurt. I feel sad. I feel worthless. I feel powerless. Sit with those feelings. There's no need to criticize. But the criticism, I find, deflects the attention away from the feeling, makes some part of us wrong, and that needs to change. And the reason it needs to change is the discomfort of the emotion that's arising. The criticism will almost never create change, but feeling the feeling will. When we're willing to sit with that uncomfortable feelings arising from how we're being or what we're saying or what we're doing and allow that to be there, there's all of a sudden no need to avoid it. And you'll find that part of whatever the behavior is that we're criticizing is also going to be avoiding some kind of feeling. So as we start to be willing to sit with these really uncomfortable experiences in our body, the behavior melts on its own. So there's no need for you to do anything. So feel the feeling or find it. And at first it will feel like there's possibly nothing there, but allow space for there to be a feeling. Ask yourself, if there was a feeling there, what would it be? And then use that as your segue into the experience and stay with it. You might need to journal about it, but stay with the feeling and you find the critical behavior falls away. Because when we judge ourselves as critical, we're criticizing our critical part. So it's just like a loop that goes on forever. So the way to break the cycle of that loop is to feel the feeling that's being avoided. Acceptance, surrender, feeling, it all happens through one specific way. And it's allowing the feeling to be there. You don't have to do anything else. So self-acceptance is the way to do that skillfully, is to just allow whatever's there to be there and not need it to be different. And that's literally how we feel a feeling. We don't have to do anything to feel it. We can move it through the body and move with it. It's a really beautiful feminine way to work with a feeling. The other way to do it is to sit with it, just allow it to be there, to breathe into it. And then if you can, begin to feel it with your whole body. It's when we do that, when we allow the feeling to be there, our nervous system processes the feeling. You'll feel like your body's vibrating, you'll feel really uncomfortable. That's your nervous system processing the emotional experience that's arising in the body. So the way to do it is through allowing. Trying to accept it, trying to do something will end up spiritual bypassing. You'll skip over it. All the efforting means something's not being felt. And so we end up, the more we try and feel it, the more we try and accept ourselves, the more we try, the more we skip over. So the only way is through allowing it to be there, allowing it to be exactly as it is, allowing it, and the nervous system will process the experience for you. The criticism will fall away on its own. You don't have to do anything. There's no effort required then. because it's the defense mechanism is no longer needed. So it's like just going straight to the heart and allowing it to unravel. And a sensitive feeling man will often have stronger defenses because you feel more. Things that hurt more. So it's normal for us men that feel deeply to have strong defenses and strong strategies in place that we've put in place unconsciously as we're growing to protect ourselves from the level of hurt and the intensity of the emotional experience that's arising. So it's very common for sensitive men to have these types of activities in the body.